All right, so here is number 2 for the second homework. This one's a little trickier than the others. But this right here, there's a square root of 12 in the denominator. So we cannot have a square root of 12 there. So we have to multiply by a special form of 1 of square root of 12 over square root of 12. Then we multiply by what's inside the radical, and then outside the radical with what's outside. So 2 times 1, I guess, or nothing, right, would just be 2. And then 15 times 12 is 180. Okay, so we put that in our calculator, that's what we get. Then we know if we're multiplying 2 radicals together that are the same, the radical can just go away. So this will just be, in the 5 will just stay out front again. But really, if we multiply these, we get the square root of 144. The square root of 144 is 12. So we just have 5 times 12. All right, see, I worked it up at the top at first. Okay, so then we go ahead and simplify the bottom. This is 5 times 12, which is 60. Okay, but then you see we have this radical right here. So we have to simplify this radical. So I'm just gonna write it over to the side. So I'm gonna take this. Oh, not that. Sorry, that was so messy. All right, I'm gonna take the square root of 180, and I'm gonna simplify it. And again, in the last lesson when we did this, right, we just divide by the smallest prime number each time that I can divide it by. So I divide it by 2 first, I get 90. Divide 90 in half, I get 45. I can't divide 45 in half without getting a decimal, so I move up to 3. 3 divided by 45 is 15. 15 divided by 3 is 5, so that's how we simplify this radical. So then we'd circle our pairs. All right, I'm going to take one of these 2's, bring it out front, one of these 3's, bring it out front, and then whatever's left over stays underneath the radical. All right, so this is 6 square root of 5, okay? So then what I'm going to do, I didn't mean to circle the 2 as well, but I'm just going to replace this square root of 180 with 6 square root of 5, because now we've just said, okay, this square root of 180 is the same thing as 6 square root of 5, so I can replace it. So I'm going to go ahead and write that over here. So 2 times, all right, 6 square root of 5 divided by, and then we have whatever was in our denominator. So we're just plugging just the square root of 6 square root of 5 for square root of 180, and we're leaving everything else the same. Okay? Then from there we do 2 times 6, which is 12. And then 12 goes into 60 5 times. So it'd be kind of like if I was just simplifying this fraction, 12 over 60 would be 1/5. Okay, but there's always an invisible 1 here, like out in front of any kind of radical. So, I mean, you could reduce it to 1 square root of 5 all over 5, or just the square root of 5 over 5. Okay, and that is our answer. So, hopefully that made sense. If you need any extra help, feel free to email me. But that's it. So, hopefully that helped.